Today I'm going to backtest a Forex trading strategy that made Traden get paid his first $50,000 and see if it's not a scam. We're going to backtest our strategy 100 times on Euro US dollar 5-minute chart, and for our first indicator we're going to use Bollinger Bands. So we're going to pick that one right there. And we're going to change the settings. So first of all, let's get rid of this basis line and reduce the opacity for our background. Okay, and we're going to leave the settings on a default. Okay, and for our second indicator, we're going to use an exponential moving average, EMA. We're going to make it more visible. And we're going to leave the settings on a default, so the length is at 9. There we go, our system is ready. Now let's get into our trading rules. So in order to enter a long position, we first need to have a bearish candlestick closed outside of this Bollinger Bands. So once we have that, we're waiting for the first bullish candlestick that would close inside the Bollinger Bands. So just like an example right here. So we're going to take a long position right there and set our stop loss at the recent lowest price right there. We're going to risk 2% of our account per each trade, and our take profits level is going to be at the level of our exponential moving average. So right there. So we see our risk to reward ratio is 1.24, and since we're risking 2% of our account per trade, we're going to have to multiply that 2 by 1.24. So our profit is going to be 2.48 on this particular trade. As we see, the price just hit our take profit target right there. Here is an example where you shouldn't take a long trade. So we see we have a bearish candlestick just closed outside of this Bollinger Band, and the next bullish candlestick that closed inside the band just crossed and closed above this exponential moving average. So in this example, we wouldn't have taken a trade because we do not have a profit margin. So if the candlestick closed somewhere here, we still have a bit of a profit margin, so we can enter the trade. But if the bullish candlestick closed very close to the exponential moving average, so that we don't have a profit margin, we should skip a trade. Opposite works when entering short trades. So we're first waiting for the bullish candlestick to close outside of this area, outside of these bands. And once we have that, we're waiting for the first bearish candlestick to close inside the band. So now we're going to take a short position right there. We're going to set our stop loss at the recent lowest price, and we're going to set our take profit target at the level of this exponential moving average. So now we see the price definitely hit our take profit target, and our risk to reward ratio was 0.66. So we're going to have to multiply that 0.66 by 2, and our profit on this particular trade will be 1.32%. Here's another example for a short trade. We see the bullish candlestick just opened outside of these bands. Now we're waiting for the first bearish candlestick to close inside the bands. You see it happened right there. Now we're going to take a short position. I'm going to set our stop loss and take profit. And we see the price just moved in our favor, and the risk to reward ratio on this particular trade was nearly 2. So we're going to multiply that by 2, and the take profit is 4%. Okay, not bad. The downside of this strategy is that we catch in those tops and bottoms. This is a reversal strategy, so we basically going against the trend. So sometimes we see, like an example right here, for a short trade. If we had taken that trade right there, we would have gotten stopped out on the very next candlestick. So keep that in mind. Here is another example for a long trade. We see our first bearish candlestick just crossed and closed outside of these bands right there. The very next bullish candlestick didn't quite close inside the band, so we had to wait. And there we go. We have our first bullish candlestick right there that closed inside the bands. We're going to take a long position, set our stop loss, and a take profit target. As we can see, the price hit our take profit target, and our risk to reward ratio was 0.92. So our profit on this trade was 1.8%. See, sometimes you have trades like these where the risk to reward ratio is really tiny. So if we were about to take a long position right there and set our stop loss at the recent lowest price, we can see our risk to reward ratio is 0.08. So our profit was basically 0.1%, which is really tiny. Okay, so once we know the rules, let's test the system out for 100 times and compare it to other systems we've already tested on the channel. Okay, so we finally finished our backtesting and I found those 100 setups within 10 days. So we started our account with $1,000 and we were risking 2% per each trade. So our take profit level was dynamic and our win rate is actually 65%. So this is pretty good, but this is mainly because we had those tiny wins. Also, we gained 46.04% on our account, which is not that bad. If we take a look at our account growth, we see the chart looks a bit inconsistent. So yeah, we took off right away, but then we had a drawdown. Sometimes we did have like 3 or 4 losses in a row. And we eventually recovered from that drawdown. But then we had another one right there. And we recovered from that one as well. But overall, this strategy is making money. It's not ideal in terms of risk to reward ratio. So let's actually compare it to some other strategies we've already got on this channel. Okay, so in terms of win rate, this strategy is on the first place. As we can see, it has a 65% of win rate, which is really high, like I said. In terms of account growth, this strategy is pretty average. I think it's on an 8th place. So overall, I think this strategy is pretty legit. I think you should definitely backtest it and forward test it on every currency pair before trading with real money. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then smash the like button. It helps with the algorithm. And also, if you want to learn more about trading, then subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video.